Hey everyone, welcome to this daily Sidereal Astrology forecast. This is for Monday, June 6, 2016. I'm Athen, and this is for Sidereal Astrology. If you are new to the channel, be sure to check out the link down below because the signs are different. All right, so we just had that new moon last weekend. In fact, we're very much still in the new moon energy. So it's a good time to still sit with this newness, and I think a lot of it is about new values in our life, a new shift of our values. And it's a challenging new moon because it's forming a grand cross, collectively challenging. But in our personal lives, to be in alignment with that, it's really good to challenge ourselves and ask ourselves, where can we challenge ourselves in our lives to attain these new values? So I think that's a great way of working with the energy because we are still in this new moon phase. And today, the Sun and Venus are going to go conjunct. All right, Venus is going to go behind the Sun, combust. So I think that's really going to emphasize the Venusian side of this. And I think what makes the day so good is that there are more of these insights coming in. But it's important that the mind, that the ego, doesn't sort of get in the middle of that. Because the thing is Venus behind the Sun can mean that there's a lot of this energy, a lot of this passion, a lot of this focus on the material world. And so we want to make sure that's done nice and balanced. And through observing the self, through observing the mind and our relationship to the material world, how are we relating to it? You know, what's our perspective of it? You know, these kinds of, not so much questions, but observations can be great. And then that helps balance this out, right? And that helps keep everything nice and in check when it comes to these material values. And then in that way, I think too, it's so good to sit with it because the Sun is that higher energy. You know, it's a very spiritual planet. It's just that radiating spiritual prana, that life force really coming through, showing us on a higher level when we're accessing that, we're being aware of it, what these values are, what really is shaping up, and what we enjoy about them with the Sun. You know, this is our inner child. This is our real attunement to the spiritual world, the playfulness, the creativity, the fun. And seeing that these things certainly can be attained, but these are the real values, not the mind projected values. So a great day for that, and I think great for even still sitting with these new beginnings and asking yourself how we can cultivate them. What actions can we take to pursue these things that we enjoy in life? And now another note too is, Venus is the natural ruler of that 7th house, so it could have to do with relationships on another level. There's this new take on relationships at the moment, right? Because when our values change, so do our relationships. And so new beginnings with both of those areas, and I think bringing extra attention to as well our perspective of relationships and even the relationships themselves can be very important today. Now the moon is going to be in Gemini, so this is really accessing the inquisitive nature of ourselves. And I think it's a great day for doing any type of learning, maybe doing some reading, some writing, some communicating, basically finding the middle path, finding the balance with the practical mind. How can we utilize our practical mind in a way to, continue to move forward with these values? Maybe it's a great time to write things down, set some new intentions, express ourselves, communicate what we value, all right? So I think that's going to be the strongest energy, that Sun conjoining up to Venus. A lot of this focus, a lot of this energy on the material world, particularly, partially on relationships. And in this new moon phase still, how we can continue to cultivate that. Where can we really challenge ourselves? And I think a lot of the challenging energy too is with ourselves spiritually. And that's because Saturn had, since this previous weekend, started to square up to Neptune for this last and final time. All right, this is going to be going on through mid-June. So the last sort of integration of where we can implement our spiritual development. How can we bring more presence into our life? Where can we work on these spiritual activities perhaps? Because the fact of the matter is that Neptune is a very deep planet, and this is Saturn, which is about what we're building in the future. But if the mind gets involved, there can be confusion, there can be doubt. There can be uncertainty about the future. Where are things going? How's it going to unfold? How's it going to work? In that perspective, This is a time of working with that uncertainty. But the way to work with it is to work on our presence, work on our state of being, work on our relationship with God or the universe, so that we can be more accepting, have more faith in our life, understand that this is a much larger picture at work here. And it could be collectively as well, in terms of what's going on with the world, what's going on with these future aspirations of ours. And how can we take the steps in the present moment, still work towards results. Saturn is about taking action. It's about grounding ourselves. It's about discipline. It's about patience. So taking those actions without having to have the future figured out, living in the present moment is a great way of working with this. And again, perhaps through spiritual exercises, through spiritual activities. So this is going to be, like I said, for the next couple of weeks, very strong. This is nothing new. We've been experiencing this for a long time now, since I believe August of last year. So there's this final integration with it of solidifying this, working with uncertainty and developing ourselves spiritually. So that'll be a backdrop, but the strongest energy will be the Sun Venus. A lot of this energy and focus, material, relationships. The moon will be in Gemini. I think there's a lot of this mental energy. I think it can be utilized. I think it can be harnessed towards perhaps moving some things forward with these new beginnings. No matter what, new moons are a great time to set goals, set intentions, and maybe today writing them down, thinking about them with the moon in Gemini. But anything else that really taps into that inquisitive nature. Another thing too is Mercury is slowly shifting into Taurus. So over this week too, we'll feel the shift of now thinking more about what we value in life, and maybe where we can take the practical steps with that, because Mercury is that depositor of the moon at the moment. So there's this shift, this thinking more, I think, less in terms of our independence and all of that kind of stuff, but now more into the material world, into how to attain these values. And I think at the end of the day, really being grateful for what we have. As I always talk about with Taurus, it's really a great foundation to work with. Connecting to nature, connecting to our senses. All right, so I hope you guys do have a fantastic day. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys all tomorrow.